Hello again everyone! Welcome po sa ating YouTube channel, the Math Isip video tutorial. And if you are new in our channel, we encourage you to please subscribe and share. Also, you can like and follow our Facebook page. And para naman sa mga supporters natin, thank you for not skipping the ads and sharing our video tutorials to others. So without further ado, our lesson for today is all about volume of cylinder. So in our lesson, you will be able to explain inductively the volume of a cylinder using the area of a circle, leading to the identification of the formula. Also, you will find the volume of a cylinder. All right, so let's begin with a lesson sequence. Ito po yung mga pag-aaralan natin in this video tutorial. The first part is all about the review or recap of the area and volume. What are the differences of these two? And next one is the area of a circle, because we are going to use this in order for us to derive the volume of a cylinder. And after deriving the cylinder, the volume of the cylinder, we will now have solving volume of a cylinder. Alright, so what is the difference between area and volume? Area is the amount of two-dimensional shape or 2D within a flat surface, or what we call flat shapes such as triangle, rectangle, and a circle. While volume is the amount of space of a three-dimensional space, or what we call solid objects, like for example, cube, cylinder, and a sphere. Now, how do we measure this? For area, we make use of square units. Now, these are 1 by 1 squares. While volume, we make use of cubic units. These are 1 by 1 by 1 cubes. So let's have an example. If we're going to measure a space, a two-dimensional space like this, a rectangle, we just need to count the number of square units it occupies. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There are 8 square units. That's the area of this rectangular shape. So meron tayong mas madaling paraan dito. We make use of the formula. They discovered that you just need to multiply one dimension by the other dimension. So the longer one is what we call the length, and the shorter one is what we call the width. So in the length, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the width, we have 1 and 2. So you just need to multiply 4 by 2, you will get 8. So our formula is area is equal to length times width. How about volume? If we have here solid figure, as you can see, you just need to count the number of cubes it has. So we have 2, 4, 6, and 8. Now, if we're going to make use of a formula to make it easier, you just need to multiply the dimensions. Since this has 3 dimensions, let's have an example. We have here a what we call rectangular prism. It has a length, it has a width, and it's now have a height. So the formula for this now is length times width times height. So we now have here a length of 4, a width of 2, and a height of 3. So multiplying all this together, we have 4 times 2 times 3, we get 24 cubic units. Alright, now let us review the area of a circle. What is the formula in getting the area of a circle? Okay, yes, you were able to learn this in elementary, that the area of the circle is equal to pi times r squared. Now, r here is the radius. Now, in order for us to understand this better, I'm going to present to you the derivation of how we get the area of a circle. Alright, so here, using a GeoGebra tool, we are going to find out kung paano nakuha yung formula ng area of a circle. First, we have to remember the different parts of a circle. First, we have the radius. Remember, radius is the distance from the center of the circle going to any point of the circle. Now, if we're going to extend the line, kung dudugtungan natin yan hanggang dito, we know what we call the diameter. The diameter is 2 times the radius. It's the distance from any point on the circle going to another point passing through the center. And ano po ang tawag natin dito sa distance around the circle? We now call this the circumference. Ngayon, kung i-straighten natin itong circumference, let's try to remove the circumference here at let us measure kung gaano siya kahaba. Okay, remember, the formula in getting the circumference is actually 2 pi r. So, saan po galing yung r? Yung radius po ng ating circle. Now, saan po galing yung pi? Remember, pi is actually the quotient. Yung sagot pag dinivide natin ang circumference by the diameter, which is approximately 3.14. We also learned that 3.14 or the pi is actually an irrational number. It is non-terminating and non-repeating. Now, if we're going to dissect this circle, hatiin natin siya into smaller parts. Let's say we have 12 parts at i-rearrange natin siya. Let us remove these parts at gawin natin siya into a different shape. Okay? Gawin pa nating mas maliit yung mga parts. Gawin natin, let's say, pwede nating hatiin siya into 100 parts nang makita natin kung ano yung magiging itsura niya if we're going to rearrange the shape. So as you can see, it's gradually forming a parallelogram. Now, gawin pa nating mas maliit yung mga parts niya. Okay, let's say we have a 100, let's say 160, or gawin nating 200 parts. Now, let us rearrange the circle. At makikita natin, it's now actually going to be a rectangle. Now, the question is, what are the dimensions of this shape? Now remember, in a rectangle, we have two dimensions. We have the length and then we have the width. In this case, ang length na natin dito ay yung kalahati ng circumference, which is, ano yung circumference natin kanina? 2 pi r, you just divide it by 2. So ang magiging length ng ating rectangle ay pi r. Ano naman ang width niya? Ito po yung radius ng circle kanina. So if we're going to find the area of the circle, basing from this shape, which is a rectangle, and the formula of a rectangle is length times width, we now have pi r times r. Therefore, the area of a circle is pi r squared. Okay, now that we already learned about the formula of the circle and how was it derived, let us now proceed to the deriving volume of a cylinder. Okay, first, let's define cylinder. Ano ba ang cylinder? So, cylinder is a three-dimensional geometric shape with two parallel and congruent circular bases connected by a curved surface. Para mas maintindihan nyo, if we just open up itong cylinder natin, ito po yung dalawang parallel bases natin. Okay, the circle at the bottom and the circle on top. And yung nandito po sa ating gitna, yun po yung ating curved surface. Okay? As you can see, it's just a rectangle. Now, if we're going to fill the cylinder with water, that is now what we call the volume. Okay, so now we are going to derive kung paano makuha yung formula ng cylinder. Okay, to explain this, I'm going to use a GeoGebra tool para ma-derive natin yung formula ng right cylinder. Now, right cylinder is actually a 90-degree cylinder wherein yung ating cylinder ay perpendicular siya doon sa ating base. So, as you can see, what are the different parts of a cylinder? First is yung ating radius. Remember, this radius here is part of the circular base, no? From the center of the circle going to any point of the circle, that is now the radius. And meron na din tayong tinatawag na height. Okay, remember, this is now a three-dimensional figure. Now, parang katulad din sa rectangular prism wherein, if you want to get the volume, you just need to multiply yung ating area ng base. Which is, ano po ang base natin dito? Kung paliliitin natin yung height, makikita natin na it's just a circle. Okay? Now, what is the area of a circle? Okay, correct. It's pi r squared. Now, if we are just going to increase the height para lang natin siyang minumultiply sa number or sa amount of height na nandito. So, imagine a circular disc na pag pinagpatong-patong mo at magiging isa na siyang cylinder. Okay, therefore, the formula for the volume of the cylinder is the formula in getting yung circle na base, which is pi r squared, times yung height or yung additional na dimension. Or you can just multiply pi times r times height. So to give you an example, we have here these sliders. Okay, the radius is 3 and here the height is 5. Therefore, ang kanyang volume ay 141.3 cubic units because we just multiply all those dimensions and using the formula, makukuha natin yung sagot. Now, if we are going to adjust the radius, kung palalakihin natin, syempre mag-a-adjust din yung kanyang volume. Lalaki din. If we're going to adjust the height, palalakihin natin, mag-a-adjust din yung kanyang volume. So there you go. This is now the derivation for getting the volume or the formula of a cylinder. Alright, so using those derivation, we come up with the formula of a cylinder. Okay, the volume of a cylinder, which is volume is equal to pi times r squared times height. Now this time, let us use this formula to solve some problems. Okay, first example in solving volume of a cylinder, let me read. Find the volume of a cylinder with radius measuring 2 meters and a height of 4 meters. Use pi is equal to 3.14. Now, this is the approximation that we're going to use. Remember, pi is an irrational number. Hindi lang po yan natatapos sa 3.14. But in this case, we are going to use this 3.14 as an approximation. Okay, so in our figure, we have here height is equal to 4 meters and ang ating radius ay 2 meters. Now, using the formula, let us now solve. Our formula is equal to pi r squared times height. Okay? Ano po ang given natin dito sa problem? Do we have the measurement of the radius? Okay, yes, it is 2 meters. Do we have the measurement of the height? Yes, it's 4 meters. So, ang gagawin lang natin is to substitute. So, our pi is 3.14. Radius is 2 raised to 2. And then we have height is 4. Ano po ang unahin natin dito sa tatlo? It's always best to prioritize natin yung ating exponent. So, we have here 2 raised to 2. So, 2 raised to 2 is equal to 4. Now, dito sa tatlo, pwedeng kahit alin dyan ang unahin. Pwede kang mag 4 times 3.14 or pwede rin namang 4 times 4 muna. So you have here 3.14 times 4. We got 12.56 times 4. Our volume is 50.24 cubic meters. Yun po ang basa nito. The volume of the cylinder is 50.24 cubic meters. Alright, example number 2. Let me read. The diameter of a can of sardines is 5 cm and the height is 8.5 cm. What is the volume of the tin can? Okay? In this case, nakikita po natin dito sa figure ang kanya pong diameter ay 5 cm. As compared to the first example, ang given po doon ay radius. Here, it is diameter. Remember, diameter is from point to point, no? Hindi po yan kalahati lang. So, it's not a radius. At the same time, ang kanyang given ay height, which is 8.5 cm. So, in our solution, we will still be using the formula volume is equal to pi r squared times height. However, we need to find the measurement of the radius. Remember, radius is just half of the diameter. So, all you have to do is to divide the diameter by 2. So, d divided by 2. Our diameter is 5 cm. Therefore, you just divide 5 by 2. Ang radius natin ay 2.5. Okay? Can we now have the formula substitution? Pwede na po. Okay, so pi natin is 3.14 pa rin in approximation. And we have here, radius is 2.5. Let's just get the square. And then we have the height which is 8.5. So, unahin muna natin yung merong exponent. So, we have 2.5 times itself or 2.5 times 2.5, you will get 6.25. Okay, pwedeng unahin mo itong dalawa or itong dalawa. So, it's up to you. Pwedeng 3.14 times 6.25 muna. Ang sagot natin ay 19.625. Multiply mo sa 8.5 and you will get 166.81 cubic centimeter. Now, to simplify this, pwede naman natin siyang i-round off sa second decimal place. Kaya ang magiging final answer natin ay 166.81 cubic centimeter. Okay, let's have number 3. What is the height of a cylinder whose radius is 5? Ano pong basa ng unit na ito? Okay, yes, decimeter. And has a volume of 471. Ito po, yes, cubic decimeter. Okay, this time, ano na po ang hinahanap? What is being asked? Okay, it's not the volume, but it is the height. Okay, in our solution, we will still use the formula pi r squared height. So in our given, we have already the volume, 471 cubic decimeter. Meron din tayong radius, which is 5 decimeter. Ang nawawala na lang is yung height. So all you have to do is to substitute sa ating formula. Therefore, yung volume natin is 471. Pi natin is 3.14. And then we have the radius, which is 5 raised to 2. And we are going to look for the value of h or height. So ano muna ang pwede nating i-solve dito? We can get the square of 5 first. So we have 5 times 5 is 25. Tsaka natin i-multiply sa 3.14. We will get 78.5. Now, to get the value of h, you can actually divide 471 by 78.5. Ilan ba ang kakasyang 78.5 kay 471? So, by dividing 471 divided by 78.5, you will get 6 as the value of h. So, our answer is 6 decimeter. The height of the cylinder is 6 decimeter. Okay, last example, number 4. What is the radius of the cylinder whose height is 4 feet and a volume of 50.24 cubic feet? Okay, now this time, ang hinahanap natin ay radius. Ano po yung mga given? We have the height and we have the volume. So in our solution, can we still use the formula? Yes. Okay, given muna is volume is 50.24 cubic feet. Ang height ay 4 feet. Ang hinahanap ay radius. Okay? So we can still substitute this in the formula. Our volume is 50.24. Our pi is 3.14. Yung radius natin, wala. And then yung height, meron, which is 4 feet. Okay? How do we do this? Pwede nating i-multiply muna yung mga given values. Like here, ang pwede mong i-multiply dito ay si 3.14 tsaka 4. So 3.14 times 4 is 12.56 times the radius squared. Now, paano mo makukuha yung value ng radius squared? Parang yung ginawa natin kanina, pwede mo actually i-divide itong 12.56 muna kay 50.24. So you can divide 50.24 by 12.56. You will get r squared. Pag dinivide natin, ang magiging sagot niya ay 4. Now, ang hinahanap natin is radius, not radius squared. So paano natin makukuha kung ang radius squared ay 4, ano ang magiging value ni radius? Ano ba ang inverse ng squaring? Okay, of course, it is getting the square root. Okay, so kunin mo yung square root ni 4 para matanggal natin yung exponent dito. Okay, ano po ang square root ni 4? The square root of 4 is 2. Therefore, r or the radius is equal to 2 feet. Okay, the radius of the cylinder is 2 feet. Okay, for you to practice, I have here some practice questions. You can pause this video to answer this on the paper and then you can come back for the checking para po maipakita ko sa inyo yung mga solution. Okay, I think you are now ready. I will now present to you the solution for these questions. Okay, so in number 1, we have here, ang sagot po natin dito ay 169.56 cubic meters. Okay, next, number 2. Ang sagot naman po natin dito ay 282.6 cubic centimeter. Okay? This one, kailangan mong i-divide yung diameter by 2 para makuha mo yung radius. Alright, let's go to number 3. In number 3, ang hinahanap natin dito is height. Okay, therefore, you can still use the same formula, but you will just divide yung ating volume by the product of pi and radius. Okay, therefore, makukuha mo si 10 decimeters. Next, number 4, we have here, the answer for it is 7.07 meters. Ito, hinahanap natin yung radius. At ang radius squared is 50. Okay? I hope hindi kayo nag-stop dito. Kinuha nyo yung square root ni 50 para matanggal yung exponent ni r. So, it will be 7.07 meters. Okay? So, yun po yung mga sagot sa ating mga exercises. I hope nakuha mo nyo po ng tama ang mga practice questions natin. So, in the next video, we are going to have solving problems, more exercises on volume of cylinder para mas ma-practice nyo po yung ating competency. So, thank you for listening. I hope meron po kayong natutunan. God bless and see you on the next video. Kung meron kang natutunan sa video na ito, please click the subscribe button to support this channel para mas matulungan ulit kita sa mga susunod mo pang math lessons. Lagi mong tatandaan, ang math ay para sa lahat. At ako si Teacher Van, nagsasabing dito sa Math Isip, lamang ang nag-iisip. God bless and see you on the next video. Bye-bye.